The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you all for attending the Manufacturers Agents presentation today. I would like to give special thanks to the manufacturers attending, along with the PHTA, for working with us to make this presentation happen. And last but not least, the hardworking manufacturers reps attending that not only represent their manufacturers themselves and their hardworking teams they have put together to cover and represent this entire great nation we call home. The whole country is represented today by several rep firms attending across the U.S. I thank you all. I believe everyone who attends and listens in will have a clear and positive perspective, the focus and the drive we as owners, operators, and agents of our firms have, and recognize the investment we make as independent contractors in our manufacturers' best interest to grow and prosper together. That being said, we will now move on to the presentation. How to maximize your profits using manufacturers agents. Outsourcing field sales with independent manufacturers agents. It's a better than ever response to the pressures and growing sales, to grow sales in today's competitive market environment. I am the presenter today, Tracy Thornburg at Thornburg Enterprises. Colt Blythe of Blythe Sales is my co-representative. I thank him for attending as well. Today's topics, market strategies, manufacturers agents, what are their traits, code of ethics, benefits for outsourcing field sales to manufacturers agents, leading indicators of skilled manufacturers, and the value we bring to our manufacturers and our customers. Some of the other topics, what is a manufacturer's agent's rep firm, myths and misconceptions, economics of a salesperson, brief contract overview, what do manufacturer's agents need to grow our business, and most common frequently asked questions. How do I maximize my sales for efforts today and plan the growth for tomorrow? Cost for sales force, company versus employee, employee's time versus manufacturer's agent's time. Do I keep control of pricing, products, and my company? What is a manufacturer's rep firm? They're independent professionals, provider of outsourcing and field sales and marketing, and services the manufacturers and our suppliers. Typically, they handle a portfolio of related but non-competitive manufacturers. They work under contract agreement in a defined territory on an exclusive basis. Income is directly tied to productivity. I cannot stress that more. Some of the other traits, high caliber personnel, entrepreneurial, goal-oriented, multi-talented, marketing, sales, and technology. Using CRMs, marketing automation, and mobile technology. They come in all shapes and sizes, from small defined focus firms to multiple office firms handling all facets of marketing and sales. Some of the industry companies that have used manufacturers rep and are using manufacturers reps are here. I'm sure you'll recognize a lot of these, if not all of them. Benefits of outsourcing field sales. Performance-based compensation, a necessary key to kicking off new product or rejuvenating an existing one. Practical approaches to controlling business expenses, that you can explore new opportunities with minimal investment in sales infrastructure, and you can diversify into multiple markets and specialized distribution channels. Lower overhead, fixed costs related to sales. Commission rate times sales equals fixed cost for sales force. Basically, the cost of doing business or cost of the sale. Success is tied to the contacts in the territory and the sales in the territory. Rooted geographically, creating stable relationships with distributors and dealers. Better market intelligence. Benefits, closer to the customer, forecasting, knowledge is power. A lot of the rep firms out there have been in their territories for a long period of time, and they know their customers. They know what they're looking for. And it's always something new, something more, and something that's available. So creating portfolio synergies, reducing sales force turnover, and training required on the product are some of the other benefits. Leading indicators of skilled firms: they have a strategic territory, plans and execute, strong territory relationships, able to share intimate marketing knowledge, active in industry associations like UPA, IPSA, trade associations, and also regional shows and events. They also outline account targets. What manufacturers agents do not do. They're not an additional channel to sell through. We do not buy then sell to our customers. We're not middlemen. We don't take title ownership or markup costs. We're not distributors. We're very different from distributors as we work with the distributors. Manufacturers agents versus distributors. You can see the advantages of manufacturers agents: the interface with the distributors, not handling competitive product lines, strong distributor and dealer relationships, and focusing on creating the market. Distributors rely heavily on sales agents for referrals, training, and in-field warranty and support. They commonly handle competitive product lines, and they focus on the ones that they determine are the ones that should be focused on. They do have strong dealer relationships, and they react, create, and service the market selling current inventories. Benefits on both sides. Popular myths and misconceptions. The distributor can handle the whole field sales process. Truth: distributors stock competitive brands. They push the brand that the dealer tells them they want. Reps and distributors work together as teams to directly guide customers to commitments and orders for products that we represent. Popular myths and misconceptions: the internet, EDI, and e-commerce, make personal contact unnecessary. Nothing farther than the truth. While e-commerce is a bigger part of the industry that we are in currently, nothing can replace the personal touch. Creating demand, negotiating sales, analyzing solutions, and reacting to the market. There's something to be said for looking somebody in the eye face to face, live. Manufacturers agents do not take a long-term perspective. This is completely false. Manufacturers agents invest in their territories and clientele. They invest in their people, and most of all, they invest in their relationships that they've had for many, many years. Economics of a salesperson. We have some examples here where a company employee example territory makes $300,000 in total sales, $75,000 in salary. What about the hidden costs? These are all hidden costs of a salaried employee, everything from training to taxes. This is where the most expense comes out of any manufacturer's pocket that uses employees. Real costs of a company employee, again, going through the salary, the hidden costs, $115,000 cost for an employee with a $75,000 salary. $300,000 in sales, $115,000, 38.5% of the sales or cost goes to the cost of the employee. That's a big number. Manufacturer's agency, $300,000 in sales in the territory. Get 10% commission rate to the rep firm, $30,000 cost for the manufacturer's agency. And most all agencies have multiple sales reps covering multiple territories in multiple states. So this is not just for one person, this is for a firm of dedicated, highly trained salespeople in their markets. Again, salary versus an employee versus manufacturer's rep. You can see the hidden costs. Manufacturer's rep agency is more bang for your buck by far. Exponentially more cost. Once a company hits a certain dollar amount, more than one salesperson will be needed. More salary employees mean more cost to the company. Manufacturers reps have a team that they can put in place to cover additional territories, and they can also add on with no expense to the manufacturer. Cost of additional salary employees, again, We can go through this. You can see it's anywhere from 15 to 23% of the cost of the sales, where manufacturer's rep is at 10%. That's got to be an attractive look at it for both sides, for the manufacturers and for the reps. Brief contract overview. Length of the contract is generally year to year, renewable, unless either party decides to end the contract. The territory is defined in the contract itself. It is exclusive partnership. There will not be any competing firms selling the same product line in the same states, and it's generally by state. Commission programs are payments on invoice, delivery, or payment. So that's something to think about. Partnering for years of success. What do sales reps need to grow their business? Sales enablement. Company contact. We need to know who the people are at the company we need to call when we have an issue. If you got regional, national sales managers, what the company procedures are. How do you handle warranty? How do you handle missed shipments? What do we do with the distributors if they have an issue? Who do we send them to? Territory and travel if available. If you have a regional or a national sales manager, we want to make sure we get time with those people at some point in each of the territories. Pricing and programs, that goes without saying, we're going to need that information. Samples and literature should be provided by each manufacturer at no cost. And history and marketing story, accurate and current reports, copies of territory invoices, all information that leads to the most important thing is communication. It's a two-way street. We communicate with you, you communicate with us, everybody's happy. Some more frequently asked questions. What's the average commission rate? On average, rates are 10% due to the cost of doing business in today's world. And the agency's overhead expenses of travel, insurance, healthcare, entertainment, taxes, etc., are much more than they were 10 years ago. Typically higher for new product lines that need to be pioneered because little to no commissions is earned in the beginning. That's all negotiated in the contract prior to getting started. Do manufacturers reps complete sales call reports? Generally, manufacturers reps do not. We work with the manufacturers, we communicate with the manufacturers. We generally work with our own CRMs to do internal reporting, and it is pushing the line to manufacturers reps versus independent contractor versus an employee. Communication is the best way to keep informed. What's the average number of manufacturers or lines a rep firm holds in their portfolio? This is definitely specific to the firm, the size of the territory, but on average, 15 to 20 lines is a general number. How do I know manufacturers will promote my product and will not get lost in the shuffle? We are constantly calling on customers and have relationships with buyers, and typically buyers ask what's new. We also use new product lines for a reason to go back and see our buyers more often. Sales enablement, the more support and information you give us, the more we sell. Salespeople will sell what they are comfortable selling. What type of industry crossover are manufacturers reps involved? Firms in the pool and spa industry often cross over into landscape, outdoor, hardscape, irrigation industries, but rarely cross into mass stores such as Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's. Do manufacturers reps sell for competing manufacturers? No. There is no conflict of interest with one manufacturer to another in any firm. It's decided prior to the contract and will be specifically stated in the contract if there is. How is liability handled between the manufacturer? The contract also states that the manufacturer holds the rep harmless and not liable for anything that comes up with a concern with the product or a situation where liability needs to be put in place. There's some information, sources about reps, PHTA, everybody knows who that is, Manufacturers Representatives Education Research Foundation. And I would encourage everybody that's a manufacturer's agent to reach out to MANA. Manufacturers Agents National Association. I have recently, and they are still around, and they are still there out for helping our manufacturers agents across the country. With that being said, that is the end of our presentation.
Excellent. Thank you, Tracy. There's a lot of great information given. At this time, we would welcome any questions to Tracy and Colt. If you'd like to speak up, feel free to raise your hand and I will unmute you, or you can easily place the questions in the question box on the right-hand side, and we'll get to those right away.
And we really appreciate everybody that attended today, and hopefully they got something out of it.
Excellent. Tracy and Colt, if you will be attending Expo, is there a location that maybe they could meet with you or discuss any opportunities or just chat?
Yeah, I believe that we have a meeting, but that's a closed meeting with the board. But if anybody wants to reach out through PHTA, or they could set up an appointment with us. We will be traveling around the show. Like I said, most rep firms will be there, if not all of them. Maybe that's something we can discuss and put out to anybody that attended the before the show happens.
Excellent. They were the one question, can you place the websites that were on the last screen? So if you could just pop back 2 screens with the website links, that would be wonderful.
Right there?
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. I've got a thank you. And
All right.
other questions. Feel free to raise your hand. Other than that, Tracy and Colt, everything looks pretty quiet right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Colt, do you have anything to add?
I just want to say another thing that was, I don't believe in the PowerPoint, that another advantage of the manufacturer's reps are there's been multiple instances on my end where a certain vendor was not able to get into a particular customer, but our relationship with other non-competitive brands that we do sell to that particular customer, that we were able to get their product in the door there. So that's another advantage on the manufacturer's agents. With the other products, it does open the door for other companies to come in there.
Yeah, based on our relationships, I agree. Good point.
excellent, excellent information.
All right, with that being said.
With that being said, I think if you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to our team at phta.org. Please feel free to use we have a live podium on the right-hand side that you can chat, and we can definitely get that information over to the necessary individuals. So feel free to utilize that. Be sure to join us at the booths on the show floor. You won't be able to miss the PHTA Pavilion, the Step in the Swim booth, and the Genesis Solution Center. So we do hope you stop by and visit us, and we look forward to seeing you in a very short 2 weeks.
All right, thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Colt and Tracy. Have a great day.
Thank you.